PSU versus Purdue.
Hey, and we have fixed the overlay. Great job from our refs and volunteers. They've done such a good job keeping this consistent. And we're starting in 3, 2, 1. Game start. All right, we've got Purdue University versus Penn State. And Purdue, with their balancing standard that's been very effective, similar to Torino, they've really struggled to get their other standard working.
We'll see how that ends up playing out. PSU hasn't had too much of a strong performance. Looks like they might die to an overpower with their standard 3 going down very quickly. Now we got a guest commentator. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself while we're in a little bit of a...
Yeah, hello, I'm Hasif Sheikh. I am on the UT Stampede team. And yeah, so with this match,
I think that was the Sentry taking up a similar strategy that NYU did last game, which is kind of a random spray and pray if it gets hit, as it has taken 10 damage.
yeah, and the main thing about this the Sentry is that because it's not moving, it's really easy for the balancing standard in order to shoot it. As you guys know, the balancing standard, because it is an extra challenge in the game, gives you extra buffs. And those buffs really, really benefit when you have a really controlled system like Purdue does.
Yeah. Purdue showing a very good display of accuracy as an inverse is happening with their Sentry, just kind of spraying all over the arena. But at the end of the day, you know, they have 100 projectiles left. It's not going to be very much longer before they're not able to fire. But better not save them for next game. Better to deter PSU from getting anywhere near their Sentry by just terrifying both arena staff and Purdue and PSU.
Yeah, these shots are terrifying. Obviously, there's no. We do have a hero on the field for PSU, and we'll see if they shoot. But and they shoot the 42mm balls. However, the 17mm balls, especially when they start hitting the base, is just a terrifying sound to hear.
Yeah.
And is also exhilarating at the same time, as you see from Purdue's standard.
Purdue taking a lot of shots at PSU's base. Purdue actually has now fixed, wow, a very zippy standard that they have for Purdue Standard 4.
Yeah,
Previously, Purdue Standard 3 has really been the only standard we've been able to see. I don't think that's actually allowed for the Purdue standard to be shooting over that.
Yeah, Purdue standard is not really following proper protocol right now. So when you are in engagement, because the balancing standard only has 2 armor plates, you cannot just point it to the side and shoot, because that would just be unfair for the opponent engager, for they see no armor plate to shoot at. So they made it a rule so that you have to shoot it directly. However, they are still shooting it from the side, so I don't really... Is that like a strategy of theirs right now?
I think typically they've been doing a spin-to-win tactic instead of doing the looking over the shoulder. We saw Torino, whenever they'd be retreating, going onto that side and not shooting, so following that protocol. We'll see how that ends up playing out for Purdue, as Purdue still has a quite commanding lead over PSU, that Sentry being knocked out very early, and the base health already being down to 1100, as Purdue's now making quick work of the other robots on PSU, making sure that they cannot get up, making sure that they cannot have any kind of way to recover.
Yeah, as that Red 3 right now making good work onto that base, relatively accurate shooting, and bringing it down to 945. With a minute 44 remaining, we may actually be looking at a base kill, possibly.
PSU is going to be in the zone for Purdue for the resupply zone, and I think PSU is now going to get a yellow card and possibly a red card if they stay in it long enough.
And look at the power of that robot. Red 4 was able to push that turned off robot all the way across. Even when off, the motors are still kind of active, so it is kind of impressive to see that happen.
Well, especially considering we hadn't seen Purdue's Red Standard 4 be moving or doing much of anything at all. It looks like they took the night to absolutely perfect that design.
Yeah, and that's some great vision right there from Red 4. It was able to identify Red 1 trying to go for maybe a last-second Desperado attack and immediately changed its plan of action and flanked in order to kill Blue 1. Absolutely fantastic work from Red 4.
With 50 seconds left, PSU is not going to be able to recover from this one, or it's going to take an absolute miracle, as Purdue is absolutely laying into that base.
Purdue is a little bit overshooting the base. If you see, the bullets are grazing the top instead of landing straight into center. So that may be something that they want to adjust a little bit. I don't know if it's their CV or manual aim. So
very good precision, is up to. But the accuracy is what, like you're saying, needs to be worked on just a little bit, just moving that down
Yeah.
Making sure that you're connecting with the armor panel on all those shots.
As you see, that one is straight into center, so that's very nice.
And also very mobile. We've seen some teams with a little bit slower drivetrains. Now, these are level 3 standards, so they could have chose to get more power to their chassis.
Yeah, I'm very curious on their configuration. And as
well, that's going to be the game.
Yeah, great game by Purdue, and that is we have some shots going off, and I'd be scared if I was in there right now.
I think the sentry needs to be shut down as the game's referee system turns off. There it goes. But since the referee system is working well, it's going to set the stage for them to move into groups for sure.
Yep, as the match starts very soon with 3, 2, 1. As the Purdue sentry already is starting off, it looks like both robots are a little bit hesitant getting to the resupply zone right now. Red 4 is going to engage Blue 3 without reloading is maybe a bold move. However, both robots seem to be very slow right now, Red 4 and Red 3.
First blood.
Well, so the first blood is going to come across from an overpower.
Yeah, so first blood is coming from an overpower. And it looks like Red 3 seems to be having a lot of issues right now. It seems to be running into a wall and maybe having some control issues. That's definitely not what you want to see from Purdue. However, let's see if Red 4 can pull them out, can help out Red 3 a little bit.
Looks like Red 3 might have been just doing a little bit of a system reboot.
Yep. And it looks like I can't tell exactly what's going on. It looks like Red 3 got yellow carded. And it looks like it's a perfect opportunity for PSU to go on the offensive right now. And it looks like right now Red 4 is shooting Red 3. There's some friendly fire going on. This match may just be trolling between Purdue. Just trying to duel their standards.
Both of their standards looking a little bit worse than last time. Purdue last time being able to just cruise around the map with 0 problems. Looks like PSU is going to have the similar projectile overspeed that we've seen plaguing a couple teams, and especially PSU and Torino.
Yeah, in the meantime, with Blue 3 getting some projectile overspeed, it did use this opportunity while Purdue was goofing around. Let's see if they're able to recover from that. I do like this maneuver, though, from Purdue. If you notice, they're watching both flanks. So if they do suspect someone in the middle, they're able to pincer maneuver them. And as well, when one engages, the other can loop around. And then, in essence, if you are familiar with like Civil War tactics, Anaconda Warfare, where you go around and then you choke the enemy.
Yeah, definitely a prominent strategy when the field is relatively small.
We have another projectile overspeed from Blue 3.
Those level 1 standards just have to have a very, very slow projectile speed, literally half of what you can possibly have if you choose to upgrade your projectile speed.
Yeah, I would not count out PSU just yet. Maybe their projectile overspeed, maybe because that they are underleveled. As they level up, that projectile, that barrier does increase, which may give them the edge to shoot without being penalized by health. However, it is taking them a while to level up. Meanwhile, Purdue, both of them are at level 3. So it may be hard.
The problem is as the robots are dead, they do not gain XP. So it's really difficult when your robot keeps dying to overspeed and overvolt to be able to level up to stop overspeed and overvolting by increasing your level. So it's just kind of a slippery slope that it's going to be really hard for PSU to overcome. A minute 30-ish left in this match. Purdue going to be still taking a pretty commanding lead, taking a definitely different strategy from last round.
And those are some fantastic shots coming from Red 3. Absolutely fantastic. With a double kill, it's only the hero that is left. However, the hero seems to be having some issues in the resupply zone for Blue. It just came out, but still. Red 4, however, just protecting home base, making sure everything's all right.
Purdue possibly just testing out some different code. I don't really know what they're going for. They looked way, way better in terms of performance last match. Not even last game, just a single match ago, not even 10 minutes ago. They were able to zip around the map. They were able to be a bit more accurate. it's just really interesting to see that they changed that much just in the short minutes between the match.
From our last match, it could be something as simple as like, it could be something from as simple as their wire got loose or something that controlled stuff, like what happened for UT. I really think that something with the drive is not working on Red 4. It looks like the shooter's fine, but that drive is sluggishly slow comparing to how fast it was zipping last match.
Well, fine turns into not fine as the projectile overspeed is what takes out a level 3 Purdue robot. Projectile overspeed somehow overspeeding level 3. I don't think we've seen too much of that. Typically, it's those lower level standards. The last few seconds of this match is
as
going
it looks
to be
like PSU really tried to go for the base a little bit. However, they got a yellow card, and that seems to be the match.
well, they wanted to get a little bit of damage, and that was not going to happen with the yellow card.
Yeah, as it looks like they're shooting post-match at the base, but however, that doesn't count.
Going to be a pretty commanding lead for Purdue, establishing their spot in groups.